Today is Tuesday, Parashat Pinchas. The parasha this week begins where the parasha of last week left off. So you remember last week's parasha, Bilam was not able to curse the Jewish people because every time he tried to curse them, only a blessing came out. So he told Balak that he would give him an advice. The only way to win against the Jewish people is if you send them to non-Jewish daughters, if you send them your daughters to tempt the Jewish man, that could be the point of vulnerability of the Jewish people. Because if you try it otherwise, you're not going to win against them. And that's what they did. They sent the daughters of Midian to tempt the Jewish man. And there was a horrible situation that happened. They even worshipped the men being tempted by the non-Jewish ladies, became to even worshipping idols of these non-Jewish ladies. They were tempted to be involved in immoral activities with them. And 24,000 people died. And one of the leaders of one of the tribes tried, even in a public affront to Moshe, to have relations with the daughter of one of the leaders of Midian. And that's when Pinchas took a decisive action to stop that kind of behavior. And in the beginning of the parasha of this week, Pinchas is rewarded with Beriti Shalom. Hashem gives him a covenant forever, and Pinchas is actually Eliyahu Navi. And Eliyahu comes to every Brit Milah. That's why we have Kiseh Eliyahu, the chair of Eliyahu, because Eliyahu was Pinchas, who was so intent on protecting the purity of Am Yisrael that there should not be intermarriages, there should not be this type of relationships, which is the greatest risk to the Jewish people in any generation, since he was so strong on maintaining that purity of Shmirat HaBrit. He comes to every Brit Milah. The parasha of this week, Parashat Pinchas, actually is a parasha that we read most of the times than any other parasha in the year. In other words, every parasha you're taking out and read it on one Shabbat, and that's it, usually. Except some portions that may be repeated on a holiday. But this Parashat Pinchas, we read a portion from it every Rosh Chodesh. We read a portion from it every Pesach, every day of Pesach, every day of Sukkot, days of Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, Kippur. This is the second Sefer Torah that is taken out on the holidays. And we read in it the portion that has to do with the korbanot that are brought on that day in Bet HaMikdash, the extra korbanot, the Musaf korbanot. So this has to do with the Kedusha of Zman, Kedushat HaZman. There is a portion in this parasha also which is very lengthy and seems to be somewhat maybe unnecessary or redundant, but actually there is a reason for it. Every family of every tribe is mentioned by name, but it says, for instance, Bnei Reuven Chanoch Mishpachat HaChanuchi, Falu Mishpachat HaPalui, Lechetzron Mishpachat HaChetzroni. In other words, the Chetzron family is the Chetzronite family. The Chanoch family is the Chanochite family. What is the Torah trying to teach us here? Every family is preceded by the letter He and the letter Yud added to it. Chetzron HaChetzroni. He at the beginning and Yud at the end. Yud and He form the name of Hashem. Shivteya Edut LeIsrael. This parasha indicates that all the people that went out from Egypt, all those families were pure 100%. There was not any family that was from any intermarriage or any relationships with Goyim. There was actually one case only of Shlomit Bat Divri, who was tricked by a Goy. And her son is the son who was the blasphemous son. Even though she didn't do it on purpose, she was tricked. Her son is the only son who was a blasphemous son and who was actually executed at some point in the Torah. But everybody else, all the other families, every single person, every single family was from a pure relationship, from Shivteya Edut LeIsrael, and this is In other words, the Kedusha of Am Yisrael. And maybe it's no chance that this parasha includes Kedusha of Israel and Kedusha al-Zman. And when we have the holidays, we say the Kiddush, Mekadesh Yisrael ve'azemanim. We bless Hashem, who sanctifies the Jewish people and sanctifies the times of the year. So we have these two aspects, to maintain the Kedusha of Am Yisrael and to maintain the Kedusha of the Zman, of the time. And it's a lot about giving sanctity to time, whether it's Shabbat every week that we have to make it holy. Every day of the week, actually, we can infuse with holiness, whether it be like learning Torah, doing mitzvot, things that we're supposed to do, bringing holiness into every moment. And for sure, the times of the year that are holy by being holidays and festivals, those are the times that the Jewish people get to celebrate and to say Mekadesh Yisrael ve'azemanim. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.